when I went back to my switchboard here, I went back to my account and saw that my times were straightened back out. So I don't know what that's about, but my apologies. Moving right along, we are here in the studio this morning. We are also recording for YouTube. And I just got about 15 minutes on this show this morning. I'm rescheduling my shows and that kind of thing. This 8:30 hour is, I think, a good hour for me. Kids are off to school. It's before I start my work. Gives me a time to get my breakfast in and that kind of thing. And then I feel like talking. That early in the morning stuff, it just was not working. I just got to get me together. If you guys want to call in, I do have the switchboard up here. It's 646-200-0966. You can give us a call if you want to ask questions or make comments. I am in the Sacred Woman book, The Healing by Queen of MOV0CA. We are in Gateway 7 for Sacred, I think it's Sacred Union. That show y'all how much work I've been doing in this gateway, right? And it's the gateway I need, because Lord needs, I need a sacred union in my life, let me tell you. This dating season has been really nice for me. Sacred relationships, really, and let me tell y'all, I'm not going to say I don't do my work, but I don't stress about doing my work. As far as my sacred woman work, I do what I can. You know what I mean? I use the tools that I have, the time and the resources that I have to do the work that I can do to the best of my ability. And let me tell you, sometimes that just means, just waking up and just being is being a sacred woman and doing your sacred woman work. But when we're talking about digging down deep into doing that healing work, I've just really scratched the surface with some of these practices and things, and I'm seeing results. So my point is, I'm getting results just by reading, really, and just picking up on some things that I can incorporate into my lifestyle right now. And each journey through this sacred woman journey, each time I go through my journey here, it's a different experience. Here on Blog Talk, it's really, really working out for me. It's helping me to stay consistent, helping me to, just stay consistent. That's the most important thing. So actually, we're in Gateway 8 for Sacred Union, and I've done some reading. Let's see where we are. I think we already poured the libation for this and read some of the prayers. Let me read this prayer here, Sacred Relationship Prayer. Divine Creator, I stand in need of sacred union. I pray for a sacred union with myself, with you, Creator, and with my mate. Divine Creator, help me to attract and establish harmonious, healthy relationships and joyous oneness with my life partner. Help me to identify and release old hurt feelings, resentments, and hostilities that are trapped within my body temple. Help me to have the vision, strength, and courage to learn from all my past and present relationships, as they are all reflections of my own consciousness, each and every one. If by chance my intimate relationships do not change, may I remain undaunted and fearless. May I be the one to become the first link of change and transformation in my life. For all healing really begins within me. I affirm that each one of my intimate relationships, past or present, has value and has in some way prepared me to grow into a more conscious, sacred union with myself. As I reflect on the true purpose of sacred union, I give thanks to the divine masculine and feminine in me and the divine masculine and feminine that unite to create sacred union, the life force from which all creation flows within us. Hetzipu. Alright, so we got less than a minute remaining here in the live broadcast. If you're listening live, you guys can tune in later, I guess. I don't know how that works. I think like if you're listening in on the computer, it'll shut down. But if you're listening in on the call line, then you can continue to listen. So I'm going to continue this broadcast for as much time as I have here. Let's see. So let's move into what are some of these practices that we need to do for sacred union. Oh, I was saying sacred relationships I've really learned a lot. That was the previous gateway. So let me talk about that for a minute. If you guys are listening live, I'll talk to y'all later. Hetzipu. Have a blessed day. So anyway, moving right along. And I'm thinking about this too. You know, you guys, a long time ago I told y'all that I had an episode where I, it ended up, and I don't want to keep talking about this stuff, but I gotta get some stuff out about it. Where I ended up in the hospital, and I told that whole story about, I was almost checked out of here, but I'm still here. Had to fight for my life to stay here and all of that. And I don't think they really expressed to me the seriousness of what had happened with me that night. I went to the emergency room here in the city, and it was just like, oh, you okay? All right, see you, bye. And they never labeled what happened to me. They couldn't give me a label of what happened. And the most that I can say is that I had a mild stroke. Because from what I know about strokes, those are the symptoms that I had and what I went through, and the results or the effects of what I went through. I'm still dealing with, like with my speech. Like for a while, I was really beating myself up about my speech because I wasn't pronouncing my words correctly. But now I'm realizing that this speech thing with me has something to do with the health crisis that I went through some years ago, where I was almost checked out of here. You feel me? And I had lost control of my bodily functions. That's what they said to me. You lost control of your bodily functions. Well, one of the things that happened was that my mouth, I could not move any limb on my body. I could not move anything on my body. I could make noises, but I couldn't open my mouth and talk. So now I'm still having a hard time with my mouth opening and talking. And I slur my words and that kind of thing. And what really brought this home for me, I'm a big crybaby, I swear. Crying to me is not a bad thing, though. It's a release of toxic energy. So when I cry, I feel like, good, I'm getting some toxins out. But when it hit home to me, I was talking to one of my neighbors the other day who told me that he had survived a stroke. And you can barely hear him when he talks. And I was like, I went through the same thing, and I'm having some of the same effects of I kept thinking it was my sinuses, because I do deal with my sinuses, and when my sinuses get flared up, it will affect my speech. But it's just like I done cleared myself up and was clear before, and still having a hard time with the speech thing. So I just kind of wanted to explain myself with that, because I do, through the years, have prided myself in the fact, or had pride in the fact that I consider myself an articulate person. So here lately, I'm not as articulate as I know myself to be, and it's a challenge. So bear with me. All right, so I got that out. Anyway, that was some healing right there. Hey, anyway, sacred relationships. So during sacred relationships, at some point in time during that gateway, I realized that I needed to get back to dating and courting, and that I wanted to be courted, and that that's important, and that it's something that I had gotten away from, and I was not being disciplined with myself as far as dating, and not holding my standards up for myself. And so I had kind of just gotten through that gateway and made that realization about dating, and it really kind of gave me that strength, to do what I know I need to do for myself. And I think what happened was, as a young person growing up, a teenager, I had never had a hard time with dating. If I was in a relationship, it was with who I wanted to be with. Had maybe a couple good relationships in high school, and was treated really well. Had a couple boyfriends, and I think I didn't realize, once I got into college, and I started to change some of my behaviors, and like I cut my hair, went natural, started dressing differently, and consequently I did not attract the same type of men and didn't get the same type of treatment. We can talk about that for forever, because the whole natural thing back in the early 90s was just like, what is she doing? Is she nuts? Then I was into wrapping up and doing the head wraps, and the folk around me, they just was not feeling it. So I wasn't getting the type of dates that I wanted to get, and even now I have to, so what happened was I was not being approached in the same way that I was used to be, I was used to being approached in my younger days, and I guess getting older too had something to do with it. So, but instead of holding my standard, I allowed myself to lower my standards and to not keep a standard for myself as far as dating, because I just felt like okay, I'm supposed to be treated a certain way, I'm supposed to have this relationship, and it's going to work. You know what I'm saying? Get with somebody, I like you, you like me, and this is going to work. And, because that's how it would happen in the past. It just would be, it would work out. But now I'm finding that I have to put my foot down more. And I know I'm 39 almost years old. And I know I'm getting old to be trying to make this type of revelation for myself. But what they say, better late than never. And I honestly had like this revelation during the Sacred Relationships Gateway. And recently I was listening to a Jamal Bryant broadcast where he was talking about, there's a broadcast that he has on YouTube that is entitled Why Black Men Don't Marry, or Why They Don't Get Married, or Why They Not Get Married. So, well, I had to watch that. And it confirmed just, all the things that I had experienced and my realizations that I came to during the Sacred Relationship Gateway, as far as courting and keeping your standards and that kind of thing. So I'm back on task, back on track. It's just like the light bulb went off. So yeah, I'm ready. So I'm here in the Sacred Union Gateway, and I'm feeling so good about myself and about dating and the people around me, and how I handle myself and how I want to be treated and how I want to treat others. And there's still some struggle dealing with folk. I also learned I have been in the Sacred Relationships Gateway, been tuning into the Dawn Nicole Leon show, and one thing I learned in listening in and talking and participating with her show, and I know I was a mess on that show. If y'all ever go back and listen, I was a mess. I cried. I was mumbling stuff and stuttering and not being clear, not being articulate, you know, just not representing myself in the way that I feel that I know that I can. And maybe it was just a cleansing that I had to go through, a healing. You know, I don't know what I was going through. I wasn't feeling well either those few weeks, and that's why I kind of was just like sitting on the phone and doing stuff because I didn't have energy to get up and go and do what I need to do. So I was just kind of, you know, fooling around on the internet for a couple of weeks while I was working on healing myself. And also the show gave me an opportunity to challenge myself, and I talked about this before, to challenge myself to express myself amongst people who I may not have their full attention. And that's something else that I wanted to work on. So as you guys can see, I like a lot of attention. Sometimes I don't like attention from people that I don't want attention from or something. Like, I don't want to be paid attention to all the time. I like to feel like I'm invisible and, you know, like I don't like people watching me. But if I'm talking to you, I want you to pay attention to me. If we are engaged in a conversation, I want to be paid attention to you, that kind of thing. So let's get chilly. I'll hit the heat on for a minute. So I got my warm apple cider ginger here. Let me turn this on. Oh, here go the people by my car. Hold on, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Larry. Alright, so how we get back up to 75 for David? I thought I already paid him 20 and it was gonna be 55. I paid David 20. He told me it was gonna be 75 minus the 20 I paid him already. Alright, well I'm gonna come on and bring the money for the pot. Alright, well I'm not gonna pay for something before he do the work. Come on now. I know y'all don't work like that. But Larry, listen to me. Do y'all normally get paid before you do work? I mean, is that what y'all do? Okay.